Every legend leaves a trace. Some linger in memory, others in things that were never meant to fall into human hands. In the Myths Belief Store, you'll find artifacts, talismans, and relics steeped in the darkness of ancient faiths. Enter if you dare to touch what is forgotten and terrifying. Link in the description. In the oldest myths of the world, back when light and darkness were still learning how to exist beside one another, a story was born, a story of two great wars that forever changed the fate of heaven and earth. The first was a rebellion against order. The second, an attempt to repair a world that had slipped out of control. These are tales of pride, ambition, downfall, and consequences that echo to this very day. Today, we look into the heart of the legends about the conflict that tore apart the realm of beings of light and led to the destruction of those who should never have been born. In the myths of the first war in heaven, there is mention of an angel called Lucifer, the bearer of light, one of the most powerful and radiant beings of the heavens. Yet his exceptional position allowed pride to grow in his heart, at first quiet, then stronger and stronger, until it became the belief that the light he carried was not meant to serve, but to rule. As he began gathering around himself those who admired his brilliance, the first shadow of rebellion appeared in heaven. The Creator, seeing the growing threat to balance, summoned his most loyal warrior, Michael, the guardian of order. Legends describe their meeting as a clash of former brothers, one who sought to rise above the light and the other who was meant to protect it. The heavens were said to have flashed like 1,000 storms when their energies collided. In the end, Lucifer was defeated and cast into the abyss. His fall was not a punishment, but a consequence. A being who wished to rule over the light was sent to a place where light does not reach. There, his former radiance faded, and darkness became his new nature and kingdom. In the myths of the second war in heaven, we hear of a time when the harmony of the human world began to crumble, not because of a rebellion among beings of light, but because of those who should never have existed. According to legend, some heavenly beings descended to earth, fascinated by the world of matter and its beauty. Their presence among humans led to the birth of hybrids, the Nephilim, giants of extraordinary strength, whose bodies were of earth and whose spirits carried the energy of heaven. At first, they were seen as a wonder, but over time their power began to surpass everything that existed on earth. Stories say that the Nephilim grew faster than ordinary humans, their voices sounded like the echo of a storm, and their ambitions were so great that they threatened the balance of the world. The earth, meant to be a place of harmony, began to sink into chaos. Then came the decision that would change the fate of both realms. The beings of light were to intervene once more, not to suppress a rebellion, but to correct a mistake born from their own fascination with the human world. Myths describe the heavens opening like a tear in the clouds, with hosts of light descending to restore balance. The Nephilim, aware of their power, were said to resist, but their strength, though immense, was rooted in matter, not pure energy. According to legend, their era ended abruptly, as if the world itself tried to rid itself of a weight it could no longer bear. In pop culture, the motif of wars in heaven has become one of the most spectacular and symbolic themes. In the series Supernatural, the conflict between angels, the fallen, and the Nephilim drives many seasons, showing a heaven torn apart by rebellion and ambition. In the film Legion, we see a vision of a heavenly schism in which the Archangel Michael defies orders from above in an attempt to save humanity. In DC Comics, angelic wars appear in Lucifer and the Sandman, where the rebellion of the Lightbringer and his fall form the foundation of the entire mythology. In the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion, the motif of angels as powerful, incomprehensible beings attacking the human world is a reinterpretation of ancient legends about heavenly wars. Even games like Darksiders depict epic battles between heaven, hell, and humanity, inspired by myths of the first rebellion and the fall of the giants. Pop culture loves these themes because they combine cosmic-scale conflict with deeply human emotions, pride, loyalty, betrayal, and the desire for freedom. The two wars in heaven are stories of pride, downfall, consequences, and balance. The first was a rebellion against order. The second, a struggle to save the human world. Both show how thin the line is between light and shadow, between freedom and destruction. And now, questions for you. Was the rebellion in heaven an act of courage, or the beginning of catastrophe? Were the Nephilim a threat, or victims of their own origin? And why do you think these legends have survived for thousands of years? Let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoy myths about great battles, leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next episodes.